when I'm there by myself. Ah, there you go. If you lean back.
Yeah.
Because I was much brighter. You were in front of me. I wasn't very bright.
Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. I'm a chef on a mission.
And I'm Jamie.
And we are going to talk about food fraud today.
We are.
Found an article, very interesting. Not shocking, but interesting because it had some facts in this article. Bogus organic foods reach U.S. because of lax enforcement at ports, inspectors say. First of all, food coming into the U.S. does not, especially seafood, does not get that regularly inspected. There are protocols in place to inspect stuff, but it's just not happening.
Why?
So there's just not enough enforcement inspectors to fill the gap of what's coming in. So that's why you always hear of these fraud cases on fish, where
They say it's one fish, but it's really another fish.
once you remove the skin, the head, and you just have a white piece of flesh, a lot of people have no idea what they're dealing with. The average consumer has no idea. The average chef sometimes has no idea. And these packers just will put it in a thing and call it something else, which it isn't, and get more money for it. It's clearly fraudulent.
Of course.
So let's talk about organic produce now.
Bogus organic products may be reaching the United States because of the lax enforcement at U.S. ports, according to a new audit by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Office of Inspector General. A finding that helps explain previous reports that millions of pounds of fraudulent organic corn and soybeans has reached American ports.
So this is a current article from the Washington Post.
Yes.
I'm sure it's listed all over the news, but we grabbed this from the Washington Post, like September 16th, 2010. So it's current news right now.
The USDA lacks procedures to check that a shipment meets organic standards, the report found. The USDA was unable to provide reasonable assurance that required documents were reviewed at U.S. ports of entry to verify that imported agricultural products labeled as organic were from certified organic foreign farms, according to the report released Monday. The lack of controls at the U.S. ports of entry increases the risk that non-organic products may be imported as organic into the United States and could create an unfair economic environment for U.S. organic producers. Not only unfair economic, but unfair to the consumer.
Unfair to the consumer, absolutely.
I mean, if you think you're buying organic and it's not organic and you're putting that into your body, there's...
Right. This is
not only, this article talks about unfair economic, but it's unfair to the consumer who's buying it.
It's a massive unfair economics to our American
To the
producers,
people who are doing...
because
organic.
they have more inspections, they're paying more money, and then all of a sudden in comes what you think is organic, and it's being produced at a fraction of the cost, being sold cheaper. It's just like when you go to the store to buy apple juice. You can buy apple juice from China or apple juice from the US. Whether it's conventional or organic, in both sectors, it's going to be cheaper from China. So now imagine slapping on an organic label and something that's not even
organic.
organic.
Able to get that premium price for it.
Folks, you always get what you pay for. That business rule is
We
so
say that all
true.
the time.
You know, when we buy stuff, I like to spend extra money because I want to make sure that, not that I like to throw money away, but I want to make sure that the money is going to the proper place and then I'm getting the proper quality. I learned a long time ago that if you pay too little, sometimes it's all garbage, especially in the seafood world. When we open this video up with seafood, I saw a long time ago, you buy cheap seafood as a chef and it comes in and it only lasts you 2-3 days versus buying seafood that can last you 4 or 5 days because it's fresher, you're throwing money out. It doesn't matter how much cheaper it is, you're losing money on the back end. We like to buy quinoa from the US. We're big fans of White Mountain Farms in Colorado. We have a shipment coming in now. Their quinoa is more money than quinoa imported from Bolivia and Peru, from South America. But we know what we're getting. We've been on the farm. We know exactly what we're getting. Something coming from a foreign country, and sometimes we're forced to buy things from foreign countries because that's the only place you can get certain things, like goji berries. Goji berries, there might be a producer here and there in the U.S. or other parts, but we're really forced to, the majority of the market is coming from China, from the Ninja Valley, and we're just saying, okay, well, we're hoping these are organic. And we buy from a company, when we buy our goji berries and a lot of our specialty high-end health food items, that this company then goes further and tests for quality and contaminants. Ecofish, the fish distributor, or it's now called Henry and Lisa's, which you can go to the health food store to Whole Foods and buy these. They actually have a thing called Seafood Safe, where they then analyze the seafood for additional contaminants. So companies that have their own set standards or their own set measures are the companies you want to buy from. Remember Arnie and Ron Koss from Earth's Best Baby Food? Mm-hmm. They're from Ellenville, the brothers who started Earth's Best Baby Food. Amazing story. They had told us a story that they had accepted a delivery of carrots in for baby food, but they're testing, because they just didn't take it for granted that what they were buying was organic, that they would test as well. And several times they would send back batches of carrots, truckloads of carrots that came in that weren't truly organic. They said they were organic, but they weren't organic. And you have a lot, like when you go to the grocery store, especially a health food store, you look at a label on like organic apples or organic tomatoes. That's a packer label, like Del Cabo Farms from Mexico. Nice looking label, beautiful things. I don't know if they really own a farm. They're just a company that
might just be labeling it.
They're a company that just sources on the open market. Say, oh, this farm over there has organic tomatoes this month at a good deal. We're going to put that into and it meets our so-called standards. We're going to put it into our batch. And they can be buying from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 different small so-called organic producers, and it's all going in under one thing. It's not really the farm. Even conventional stuff is like that. It's all, a lot of this stuff is just packer labels. They're brands. They're not farms. When you go to the store and, when you go like to ShopRite in these big stores and see pictures of rolling pastures and this
it's
and that.
It's all part of marketing.
It's all marketing, folks. This article goes on and on. Of course, you guys get the gist. There's not enough enforcement. So I guess the real question is, what do you do if you want to eat organic?
Well, how do you make sure?
How do you make sure, right? So one way is growing it yourself.
Right.
That's one way, but that's really not realistic for a lot of people to grow all their own food or grow even a portion of their food. Some people do grow a good portion of their food and can it and freeze it and save it and have a machine that cryovacs it, vacuum packs it, and they can save. But you want to go buy walnuts, walnuts are from California. You got to go buy something that you kind of trust. So our suggestion is you go to a farmer's market, local farmer's market, and you buy as much local as you can. You join a CSA, which is...
and also conversations.
Conversations.
That's probably where you were going.
That's where I was going.
Conversations with the farmer.
You join a CSA, a community support agriculture, and where you have a share, and you just get produce delivered to you automatically, and it's seasonal, so it runs maybe 6 months, 7, 8 months out of the year. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they have storage crops. But the big thing is, have conversations with the people you're buying from. Go online and do research with the companies. If you're really concerned about something, go online and do some legitimate research. You can find everything. A lot of these bigger farms, or even the bigger packers, have codes on their food where it tracks it back to its source. Because we all want to know, a lot of us want to know where our food comes from nowadays. That's an important buzzword, is where's that from? We know, how was this grown, this and that. Even like big chicken producers that buy from farms, that contract out between 20, 30, 40 farms, they'll tell you the exact farm it came from. So transparency in food is at an all-time high. And it's going to get more and more and more because we want to know, and we're educated now about where our food is. So don't take it for granted, folks, if you're buying something that's organic, that's truly organic.
Ask questions.
Ask
do
questions.
Some research.
But if you're going to a big store, like let's say you're going to a ShopRite or a Walmart, and you're buying the Walmart brand organic milk or Walmart brand organic walnuts versus going to a health food store that has more of a specialized individual brand, there's a difference.
Yep.
There's a difference why Walmart's getting it so cheap. Yeah, they have massive buying power, but they're probably using a cheaper organic farm that's using, see, here's the thing with organic produce, folks. You can still spray certain chemicals on organic food because the government allows you to do that. And that's a whole nother topic that I don't want to get into on this one. That's a whole nother topic because they have to make it fair so the big guys can play the game. That's why they put chlorine on organic chicken, because you couldn't make chicken on a big level in a big factory, in a big processing plant, without throwing chlorine on it to disinfect it. The guy who's doing 100 chickens at a time, 200 chickens, he can do it because he has clean facilities. He knows where all his chickens are. But once you start mixing chickens from all these different farms, organic or not, you're spreading a possibility of disease. So you're spreading bacteria. So you have to chlorinate them. You have to kill the bacteria. Some people air drying, you can still spray chlorine on them. But there are other ways of disinfecting, like electrolysis water and things like that. But you guys get the gist. You get what you pay.
They said at the end of this article, though. It says integrity is the cornerstone of the organic label, and I think that's super important to remember. And I think the USDA needs to be a little bit more conscious and figure out a way to not let non-organic food be labeled organic.
Right. If you notice our packs,
the inspectors need to do a better job.
You notice when some of our organic food comes from a couple of distributors, it'll say on there, organic food, do not irradiate this box.
Yes.
Because they don't want it irradiated. A lot of our spices, all that stuff is all unirradiated. And so they're trying to protect, what's in the box. So there was something else I was going to say and I forgot, but you get the gist of this. You get what you pay for. Have conversations, do research, and supporting organic is important. Supporting local is very important. Now, a lot of times you'll find a local farmer that's not certified organic, but he's doing more than organic. And those are the people who you really want to support. Go to the farm stand, go to the farm market, find out and support that. Community supported agriculture is the way to go. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano.
And Jamie.
If you like our videos, please hit like,
subscribe,
and pass it on. Leave a comment, leave a question, and we'll be happy to make another video.
Have a great day.